Hi, my name is Temitope Adeyemi, and I'm the co-founder CEO at PayU. At PayU, we're democratizing access to comprehensive motor insurance. Imagine that you can pay 100 naira for an hour drive, having comprehensive coverage. Yeah, that is what we've done at PayU. Please keep listening to IBS podcast. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to another interesting episode of InsurTech Business Series. This is season 2, and like we said, we're looking for fresh conversations about InsurTech in Africa, speaking to innovators and trendsetters in the space. And today we have someone who is doing exactly that. Temitope, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's cool to be here.
Great. Thank you for being part of the community. One of the things that we are very keen on is to learn from those who are in the space and share those learnings with the world. A lot of amazing things coming out of Africa, and we want to share that through our platform. That's what we want to do with you today. Before we go deep into PayU and what you do, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into insurance? I mean, insurance is a very interesting space. I mean, I know a bit about your journey, so maybe you want to share that.
Thank you so much. I'm Temitope Adeyemi, and I'm currently the co-founder CEO at PayU. But my journey to insurance, right, was accidental. I started with insurance in 2006 with Wapik Insurance PLC. From Wapik in 2006, I moved to Standard Alliance Life Assurance in 2009. From Standard Alliance Life Insurance, I moved to AXA in 2012. I was in AXA for about 5 to 6 months. Left AXA November 2012. And I started Assure Customer Agency and Co. Then, of course, I ran that for 9 years, and I started PayU in 2021. That basically has been my insurance journey up to date, which cumulates to about 18 years this year.
Wow.
In my early days, in 2006, I was a salesperson. Like I said, it was accidental joining insurance in the first place. I didn't know anything about insurance that much. A friend of mine who was in insurance at the time, we were still in school back then, tertiary institution. He was the one that was like, hey, come over and come and do insurance. I was like, insurance? What's insurance? And the attachment to insurance that is people who don't have a future that goes into insurance. But I was impressed by what the guy has done for himself. We were still in school, and this guy already drives a brand new car, has and it was, I doubted him, right? Until I followed him to his office one day. I went to his boss to ask, with his consent, to show me his payslip. He actually told his boss that he can go ahead and show me his payslip. And I saw this guy was earning almost more than professors at the time, right? And I was like, man, it seems there's something here. So that was how I said, let me give this a try, right? And I started selling insurance. And lo and behold, I was about giving up my third month when I ran around the whole of Computer Village in Kenya. Until something just told me that, hey, you're going to here and there. Why don't you go back to your school and talk to your lecturers? And I went back to my lecturer and a professor. She was the first that bought a policy from me. And I ran down to Ikeja to go because of course I schooled in Ogbomoso. I ran to Ikeja to go and get a policy certificate. Came back to Ogbomoso and delivered. And she was like, so quick. And she gave me another check again. Honestly, that month, I had a commission of 108,000 naira. That first month. And I was like, man, if this is this cool, I think I'm just going to have to continue here because bankers at the time weren't even earning as much as, and I was doing work from home. I already started doing work from home since 2006 because I'll just go here and there, gather customers' premium, would have paid into the company's account, and at the end of the month, just go to the office in Ikeja to present the tellers and all of that. It was fun. Really, it was fun. And of course, money was being made. So in my early days, I was a salesperson. Then I started moving up the ladder, becoming unit manager, becoming agency manager, So that essentially was sales. But when I started Assure Customer Agency and Co, I started understanding more details about underwriting and the business part of insurance entity as it were. And throughout my 9 years running Assure Customer, because I would say Assure Customer, we pivoted Assure Customer to become PU. There was a time we were managing 2 aircraft under our portfolio. Assure Customer was largely successful. There was a time when we were even on air educating the public about insurance, which I go to the radio station 4 times a week. We did that 6 months a stretch, and Assure Customer, of course, financed that. So I think I've had rich experience all around, and AXA also helped me in tremendous ways in terms of understanding claims department. Right, there's this my boss Sheye Ajibulu, who was in claims at the time when I was in AXA. He really took time to teach us about claims, especially motor claims. So yeah, I think I've touched a bit of every department within the insurance space. Yeah.
Fast forward 18 years experience to today, right? We'll talk a bit more about PayU, but you are focused on motor insurance. Perhaps maybe my first question would be, why motor insurance? And then as a follow-up to that, how big is the problem you're solving within the motor insurance space? Some report came out from NICOM about Q2, and the industry generated about 61 billion in net premium from motor, and it was second only to oil and gas on the non-life side. But the truth of the matter is that not all vehicles in Nigeria are still insured.
So the question why motor, I would say out of my 18 years, I've been selling for 17 years, right? So, and like I always say, the foot soldiers, the sales people, they are the ones that collect the real feedback from users. So, number one, motor is the most popular insurance product. You go and renew your vehicle paper, or you're just getting a license plate. You know you will get insurance. Either you believe in the use of that insurance, or you don't, but you still have to get it. So, buying third party for motor insurance has rented a space in the head of every vehicle owner. So it's still the easiest to sell. That's a low-hanging fruit within the insurance space compared to every other one. And from data we've seen, it is said that about 13 million vehicles are registered in Nigeria, and just a little above 3 million are insured. Now, these 3 million that are insured are even a combination of both third-party and comprehensive motor insurance. So there's a vast majority of uninsured people. And I can confirm that information, that there's a vast majority of people that are not insured, because in our data gathering, while we're gathering data to build up our per minute billing, my co-founder was in a place like Zamfara. And when she was asking about insurance, they were just looking at her, what do you mean by insurance? And she was like, the document you get alongside when you renew your vehicle paper. And they're like, since they got their number plate the first time, they've never renewed it. So what's insurance? So some don't renew vehicle papers, let alone renew insurance. So the first time you're even giving them the insurance alongside the number plate, they just don't know what it's used for, right? So there's a vast majority of people who do not have that coverage. And you're looking at potentially about a 12 trillion naira base, about 12 trillion. That is even if everybody spends 250K a year on comprehensive coverage. That's valuing all cars at 5 million, and you're paying 5%. So it's a big market, very, very big untapped market. And the biggest problem we've seen is that, yeah, people want to buy comprehensive coverage, but one, they don't trust that when they get into claim, they would be settled. Number two, something I've realized about Nigerians is once you start talking about tens of thousands of naira for something they can't visibly see, or something they can't put in their mouth and eat, they tell you, they will tell you, I'll think about it. You can come back again, and that essentially is the end of that conversation. But something you are supposed to pay tens or hundreds of thousands, and you're telling them, oh, you can just pay 100 naira or 200 naira. It fascinates people, right? And they just want to say, oh, let me give it a try. So now you're doing two things. You've kind of like alienated the trust issue because now they are saying it's just 100 naira. I can throw 100 naira away, right? So the onus now lies with us as pay you to give them a wow experience while spending that 100 naira per time when they drive. The data that came out from NICOM speaks loudly, right?
Why?
Just after oil and gas, motor insurance has the most premium. You understand why we're democratizing in this space?
I think you touched on my next question around trust, right? How do we build that foundation of trust? Because we are looking at 99% of Nigerian population have no form of insurance, right? Insurance penetration is sitting at about maybe less than 1%. Yes, that opportunity is there. And motor insurance is one of the products that people actually need. Your experience within the space as a salesperson, engaging with customers directly. I know you talked about claims experience being one of the ways. Are there other ways that, as an industry, we need to be looking at?
So the way I like to answer this question is how did the banking industry win the trust of the people for people to come and put their money in the bank? How did new banks, that's the Kuda banks, the OPAs, how did they win the trust of people to come and put their money in their bank? Right? So the OPAs and all of that democratized access in the sense that I remember when there used to be one of the top banks where they'll say to open an account, you need to have 100,000 naira. And another bank came, and a leading bank too, who came and said to open an account, zero balance. And everybody went, they started seeing numbers. And the one that was like always like, you need 100K and above before you can open an account with them. Now saw that maybe they need to look into their model again. And they probably are opening an account at zero balance right now. Democratizing access. New banks, when they came in, they did a lot of freebies. Up until now, free transfers, freebies, free that, free, and people started trying with small money. People would transfer in 5,000 into those new bank accounts, and they will see that, okay, they got quality service. When they wanted to transfer, it was instant. When they want to do this, it's immediate. And the freebies they talked about is there and all of that. And now people are putting so much money into all those new banks. Democratizing access, right? Break that pricing door, break it down. Let people come in with little, because of course insurance is a function of you need to pay premium. It's the sign that you actually need coverage for the risk, right? But break it down. Let it be extremely affordable. Let it even be an amount people can decide to throw away. Then once they come in through the door, give them quality service. Give them a wow experience, right? Then they'll start talking about you. I got a call a few days ago from someone that I've never met who wants me to come talk to his MD about placing their cars on PayU, right? It was because he has enjoyed quality service from us. That was why he could refer. So that for me is how we can begin to look at the trust. Let's democratize access to all these products. Let's build this product to fit our people's culture and income. We will naturally see them walk through the door. And once they walk through the door, let's give them quality service. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Very, very key point. And my next question will be for you and your team, right? How are you approaching this democratizing access? You're talking about motor insurance here. How are you doing it? What's the mission at PayU? What's the drive? What's the motivation?
Our drive at PayU is nobody should, because of huge upfront premium, nobody should put their car on the road without comprehensive coverage. That's our drive, because I've seen it firsthand how people's cars, close people, close friends, right? Their cars get burned and they couldn't get off their feet after that incident. I've seen where people, family friend, run into an accident and it was just tough for them all through that phase. Comprehensive motor insurance shouldn't be a thing for the rich. It should be accessible to all. I shouldn't be deprived of comprehensive coverage because I do not have. I should be able to have 50 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira, 300 naira, and put my car on the road with comprehensive coverage. I should be able to. I shouldn't be looking for millions to enable me put my car on the road and have it comprehensively covered. So that basically is what drives us at PayU, aside the fact that we essentially are building a company where we're able to build products that resonate with the culture of our people and aligns with their finances. It's very, very important to us.
Speaking about that product, what then is the model that you're using to take comprehensive insurance that is affordable to the market? How does it work? What's the proposition to customers?
It's convenient for me to get or procure comprehensive coverage. It's a do-it-yourself solution wherein you don't have to wait for an insurance agent to come inspect your vehicle before you can buy comprehensive motor insurance. If you buy a car right now in 5 minutes, you can download PayU app and get fully onboarded in less than 5 minutes, right? And you can turn on your PayU app and you have comprehensive coverage. And you don't need to, say, for example, you buy a 10 million naira vehicle, you don't need to look for 500,000 to get comprehensive coverage. For as low as 100, 200 naira, 500 naira topped up in your wallet, you can do a 2 to 3 hours drive. That is the value to the customer. And what's the value to the insurance industry? Now, people who would have just walk away from comprehensive coverage and just do third-party motor insurance, PayU is availing them that opportunity. Yes, you have your third-party motor insurance, but while driving on the road, you want to layer it with comprehensive coverage. You want to layer it with a solution like PayU. So that basically is the value to the insurance industry. We are getting more people into the full coverage net, right? Comprehensive coverage net. And what is the value of PayU to the society? Instead of people have third party, get involved in an accident, their cars get burned, someone's economy is wiped out. The vehicle could be your means of moving from point A to point B to get your daily need, daily bread, right? And if it gets burnt or it gets stolen or it gets entirely crashed, that person might never be the same again. But with a solution like PayU, you're able to get back on your feet, you're able to get back on the road, you're able to go about your daily activities. So that is the value to the customer, the value to the industry, and the value to the society.
Very interesting. And product is clear, usage-based. Perhaps maybe you can tell us a bit more about your journey, right? How did you come about understanding that this is the right product for the market and there are customers who would use this product? How did you get that understanding and how did you begin to arrive at that product market fit?
Hi, my name is Joel Masharia. I'm the co-founder of Motisure, where we provide last mile distribution of microinsurance products. Keep listening to the InsurTech business series to get the latest on insurance and InsurTech within and outside of Africa.
So while running Assure Customer for 9 years, 2012 up until 2021, 72% of our portfolio were motor insurance. Then we quickly noticed that when car owners buy their foreign used cars for the first time, when they newly acquire their foreign used cars, it's usually easier for us to sell them comprehensive coverage and they would buy it. But we observe that once it's time for renewal after a year, it's more difficult than the initial sales. Year on year, we see about 60, between 60 to 65% churn. They will begin to ask questions. Why do people do insurance the first year and the second year, especially when there's no claim? Why is it that they churn? Then we started asking questions. We started finding out. And most of the feedback we got was, oh, don't you know that when I newly bought that car, I mean, the car is very new and it will be attracting people and it's prone to theft at that time and all of that. So that was why I bought comprehensive coverage. But now that it's a year, it's no longer looking attractive. There's no need for comprehensive coverage because even last year, there was no claim. So it's from that standpoint we begin to now understand the customers. Then we just went full scale into research. Okay, comprehensive coverage is good for you, right? But how would you want to be served? And right there and then, some people were saying, if I can spend 100 naira a day in comprehensive coverage, that was a light bulb moment where we're like, oh, wow, 100 naira a day. So that was how it actually began. At that time, there was nothing like InsurTech. When we started those findings, there was nothing like InsurTech. And even some of my friends in the industry that I mentioned these to, they were like, hey, go get a job, go get a life. We're not done selling comprehensive motor insurance on an annual basis. You're talking about 100 naira or 200 naira per day. So in 2017, I took my bag and I went to the US to learn. Let me go see what they're up to. I got very useful knowledge which helped us at PayU to properly craft the product, and we were able to present a strong case to our regulator. And they were like, we don't have a reason not to approve these guys. And they approved me. And PayU today is, NICOM is proud. NICOM is always talking about PayU, right? So it's a long journey. It's a long journey, and it's not a conversation that can be trashed out in an hour or two. I hope you understand.
Looking at the product being from idea, then you have sort of like MVP. How do you go about like getting the right partners, right? And when I say partners, in terms of insurers, right? Because I mean, you're not underwriting the risk, or even though you own the product, right? So how do you go about identifying those partners, and how much of convincing did you have to do? Because again, just like you said, coming from a point where I mean the feedback is even annual policies we've not sold, yeah, you are bringing daily or pay as you use. How was that experience bringing this kind of thing into the market?
So in the early days, around 2015, when I started getting this idea, was when I got the most, oh, go get a life. I mean, nobody saw it. Even what we were doing at our show, nobody understood it. It was just only me and my management team, three of us, that understood what we were doing. We just knew that things can't continue like this. Something needs to change. Nobody was calling it InsurTech at the time, but we just had that thing deep-seated in us that, no, something has to change, right? We can't continue this way, right? So when I traveled 2017 to the US and I got back, of course, the experience, how to like build innovative product, technology-driven product. So I got all of that training. And when I got back, it helped us put up a strong case. It helped us put forward a strong case to insurers that we were approaching. And I won't be mentioning names. So there were some insurers that were approached that were, I'm talking about 2019, that were still confused as those that were approached in 2015. Because those that were approached in 2015, I didn't even bother going back there because, I mean, I just had to believe that they were going to say the same thing. Up until we met the head of Moto at the underwriter that eventually signed us up. I met the head of Moto she's well traveled. She has seen things. So I think that helped her to reach out to me and listen to PayU's offering, right? And I pitched to her. She's just head of motor in that insurance company, right? And I pitched to her, and she loved the idea. She loved the potential. She loved what PayU can do. And of course, she moved that to our executive director. She went to pitch our executive director, who also is an up and mobile person, someone who loves innovation. And I even heard at the time that there was a board member in that insurance company that had always been saying, why does he need to be paying comprehensive motor insurance annually when he drives his car maybe 4 months in an entire year? So there had already been that conversation on their board level. So when PayU therefore was pitched to the board, it was just a resounding yes. That basically was the journey, and they went all out for us in ensuring that we get regulatory approval to get into the market, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and well done and great job that you've done so far.
Thank you.
There are a lot of engagement with regulator, right? Because again, yes, on one side, the market in terms of the players that you engage, being skeptical about the initiative and the product until you found the right one. But even on the regulator side, right? You mentioned that this was eventually, this was approved, and you've been getting the support from NICOM, the regulator. But looking at the space generally, what other areas do you think regulation can help your business and even InsurTech a bit more?
Like I always say, right now, nobody knows anything, neither the operators, neither the regulator. And like you also know, regulation will always trail innovation. So to that point, all that we require, or all that I need from the regulator is to continue to support us in guiding us through approvals and making it as quickly as possible. Let's get into the market quickly. Let's test out hypotheses really, really quickly. So, and I think the current NICOM, they are doing a great job at that. So just like myself and some operators visited the regulator some weeks back, and they were just welcoming, right? They were just welcoming. So I think that is what we currently need them to continue to do. And as the guidelines approved and is published, we can just continue to look forward to that guideline. But I think I'm not sure of any other thing I want them to be doing. I mean, the regulator, I'm not sure of anything I want them to be doing right now, aside the fact that they should just help out in guiding with product approvals, innovative product approvals, and the turnaround as quickly and as fast as possible. And because now there's a department, and there's an entire department for the very first time, a department of innovation in NICOM. So it's a pointer that yes, it's a bright new day. Yeah.
Great, and very interesting times, definitely in the space here in Nigeria. And speaking a bit about innovation and technology, I saw a comment from you recently on LinkedIn. You were responding to a post about AI, and I'm going to read it. It says, "I need AI that can sell insurance with 80% uptake to underserved markets around the world. While I wait, I'll keep training humans to sell to humans." Is this your salesman's cap here? Is it safe to say that you're not buying the AI hype?
For me, AI is a very wonderful tool that we even use at PayU. But my point is that AI will still be well, I mean, that's my thinking. Tomorrow, my thinking might change. But right now, with what I've seen, AI will still, because the hype is all about, AI is going to take over human intelligence. AI is going to take over people's work. AI is going to replace humans. Yeah, AI might replace humans who do not upgrade their skills, who do not learn how to use AI itself. But humans are still going to continue to feed AI. Yes, humans are going to continue to feed AI. So I don't know how AI can help in selling insurance specifically. AI might be able to sell fintech products, but I just don't know. And I'm looking forward to how AI can efficiently sell insurance, thereby replacing sales agents, brokers, and all of that.
I remember during the lockdown, a lot of conversation around technology and how technology is going to really replace agents, and there's a lot of debates around all of that. But we've come to see that technology is an enabler, right? And what it can only do for agents is to enable their work, but not replace. Because the role of the agent, the role of the salesperson is super important in insurance. Just like you mentioned, maybe for other products, you might not need that physical touch as much. But for insurance, people still want to speak to someone. People still want to walk up to a physical location to make a claim or do a certain transaction, right? So, and it's a unique product because it speaks to the emotions of people. It speaks to real life, of people, real experiences. So I think it's definitely something that we should have in mind, right? Enabling our work, as against the mindset of replacing. It might replace some part of our work, but the core of it is still going to be humans driving it in the first place. In all of this, right, you've been on the journey building the product to where it is today. Take the opportunity to say congrats on the recent announcement, on the support that you've gotten from Lagos Angel Network in terms of funding and fueling your work at PayU. Well done on that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I mean, it's been a roller coaster. That's all. That's my response.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, how are you navigating the realities of raising funds, getting the right backers, as an InsurTech in Africa? Because even being an InsurTech, not just anywhere, but in Africa, can be very tough. How are you navigating the realities of fundraising in this time, and what's the feelers from even other players, within the space in terms of navigating this?
Like you rightly said, it's funding winter. Everybody is like, funding is dried up and all of that. But I think what is helping us at PayU is that we achieved a lot with our first startup, that's our Shore Customer Agency and Co. Over 9 years without funding from anybody. We managed a total turnover of north of 280 million naira. So we've understood from the get-go how to make money selling insurance. So building out PayU, we weren't looking at, of course, the only reason why we're raising funding at PayU is because PayU is technology enabled. I mean, we can only distribute PayU via technology. Like I tell my team, if this is something we can distribute via proposal forms, paper and pen, honestly, we won't be raising any fund from anybody, right? And probably if we're going to even be raising, maybe we're just going to raise little money for sales and marketing, right? But this is technology driven. We're heavily dependent on technology, right? So that is why it's been kind of a lot different for us. I mean, it has cost us some kind of shock because we are not used to begging to do anything. Because I see fundraising as begging people, please come and give me your money. Please come and give me your money so that and I give you equity in exchange, right? So it's been very tough for us because we are not. I, for one, I'm not crafted in begging people for. I don't beg people. I don't beg for anything really. So, but this PayU journey has made me see that, hey, if you're going to get this to anywhere, you need to go out and sell, not actually beg. Like sell the vision and sell it in such a way that people will buy into the vision and they can part with their money in terms of investment, so you can grow this. We actively got into the market early this year, trying to raise a pre-seed round, and it's really been tough. Yeah, it's really been tough. But I think over the course of next year, VCs are going to be investing in startups that prioritize profitability. Because one of the reasons why we got the high of Lagos Angel Network is because of the unit economics of PayU. One particular investor told us that I've never seen this kind of margin from any startup. Then when you now throw in that they are raising fund for insurance, InsurTech, if you throw that into the mix, then the conversation becomes messier. Right? They are not talking about fintech, moving money. They are talking about InsurTech. Right? Most of the VCs you're talking to probably don't understand insurance. They are not buying insurance themselves. Yeah, I was actually pitching one investor, and the investor was telling me, a VC firm here in Nigeria, was telling me they've actually never invested in InsurTech because there's a particular insurance company that is 60 years and above, and all of its revenue for an entire year was $500,000. I was like, what insurance company made a revenue of 500,000 when insurance companies are making tons of billions in motor policy alone? The last data that came out, NEM Insurance had 10 billion plus premium from motor alone. This is an insurance company that sells several other products. So I'm just wondering, what kind of insurance company would make $500,000 selling almost 20 insurance products? So it just speaks to the fact that the ecosystem, funding ecosystem, does not understand insurance itself. And I can understand. I mean, I wouldn't blame them because we probably too haven't done, I mean, as an industry, we haven't done sufficient educating the public. So insurance makes it a lot tougher to raise funding. But of course, like I always say to some VCs, to some investors that care to know, insurance is going to deliver the next real big exit on the continent. Yeah, I'm that optimistic.
I think I share your optimism as well. I mean, I've always said that InsurTech is the new fintech, so to say, because there are a lot of things that are happening within the space that it goes under the radar. And what you're doing with PayU is a good example of that. And just seeing how that can grow and scale will be very, 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 very interesting. And again, congrats on the support from Lagos India Network community. So as we round off, looking at the InsurTech ecosystem in Africa, in Nigeria, what do you see it looking like at the end of the decade? So this is 2024, looking at 2030. I know for Nigeria, there's a transformation roadmap for the insurance industry until 2030. Yeah, and there's a lot of conversations there around how to leverage technology, digital, and just doing a lot more for customers and changing the face of the industry. But looking at the InsurTech specifically, yes, on one hand, we have been in conversations with NICOM on the guideline, InsurTech guideline, and really just seeing how InsurTechs themselves can begin to play as key stakeholders within the space. But yeah, from your own perspective, from what you've experienced so far, being in the industry core and then now playing as a tech player within the ecosystem.
I think there are few players that are doing real work within the InsurTech space, because putting existing off-the-shelf product into codes, API, I really don't see that as innovation, right? So what I hope and I foresee is that if these few players are able to harness the strength of retail business, because the leverage, like I usually would say, our leverage as InsurTech is we going in after the retail segment of the society, of the economy, right? If we're able to harness that space very well, the retail segment, then we can begin to set ourselves up as the new kind of insurance companies by 2030. That basically is my own belief and point of view, and what we're also driving at PayU. Retail can be difficult to get into, but if you have products that answers customers' query, customers' need, you definitely win that market. And I strongly believe that retail is the most reliable segment. I mean, all of your retail customers can gang up, say they aren't doing business with you anymore. But corporate customers can be like, hey, because of these X and Y, Z government policies, it's not comfortable for us to continue to do this kind of business, and you'll be in real big trouble. So yeah, InsurTech should harness their superpower of winning over retail customers. That's number one. Number two, InsurTech should continue to churn out real innovative products, not whipping up off the shelf products with paste stack and thinking that's no innovation. No, that's not going to get us anywhere, right? Those are my two takeaways as what would drive the needed growth looking at 2030. Thirdly, would be insurtechs that do the two above are going to be really considered the insurance companies of the future.
What's next for PayU? Now you have some form of backing, products in the market. What's next? The new products that we're expecting, is there expansion to other markets?
For us at PayU, we want to continue to build PayU as a product itself up until it becomes a product that our customers are using every day, reliably using every day. We want to continue to iterate, fine-tune the product to the point where there's little or no complaints from our customers. So that's what we want to continue to do, at least for the next 18 months. And for new product, yes, we have 4 other products that we're currently working on. Very, very innovative products that our distribution partners, such as telcos, some telcos are really excited about getting the product to market. Yeah, so we want to continue to do the two together, continue to build the pay per minute motor insurance. That's the essence of the funds we're raising. Going into other markets would largely be, for us right now as I speak, customer driven. Aside that, I think we still want to gain substantial footprint in Nigeria before considering expansion to other markets.
Really interesting things happening within the space here, and great to see that you're pioneering a number of things in that line as well. Yes, thank you. And it was a good pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much, Damola and Folumi. I really appreciate this time and great job you guys are doing. And like I said,
thank you very
I always
much.
listen to, I might not be able to say I've listened to all of your episodes, but I think I should have done upwards of 80% of your episodes. Because I mean, everybody that speaks on your podcast, they have 1 or 2 things that is worth listening to. So yeah, great job you guys are doing. Thank you so much for having me.